A very warm welcome to each and everyone present today. My name is Vineet and I'll be the instructor for all of you. I have been working on Java for the past few years, as well as I've been working on Android. Okay, so let's move on. In today's class we'll be going through few basic parts of Java. But before that, we should understand why should we take up OCPJP 6.0. Okay, so these are the few salient features why we need to take it. First of all, it is you get a certification by Oracle. So Oracle is a very good name. Okay, if you receive a certification from a company like Oracle, you actually go at a higher level. Second is excellence badge on your resume. Whenever you put that you are actually Oracle certified, you get a preference while seeking jobs. Okay, it helps you to switch jobs, like you are working in a company right now presently, and then you are looking forward to switch a job to the next company. So in that case, this Oracle certification will certainly help you. Finally, it takes you a step ahead than others. So these are the salient features why you need to take OCPJP certification. Moving on, I come to how to prepare for OCPJP 6.0. First of all, understanding core Java concepts thoroughly, because this OCPJP course actually includes the core Java concepts, right? So you should be very thorough with these concepts so that you can easily clear this examination. Second, solving simulation tests regularly. Now these simulation tests are actually mock tests, as they are just the two copy of the examination that is conducted by Oracle. Okay, so this test will actually prepare you for the final exam. In our course, we provide around 10 to 20 simulation tests so that you are actually practiced well, so that you can easily crack the exam, that is the final Oracle exam, that is OCPJP. Overview of advanced Java concepts will also be required, because sometimes you get questions from these advanced topics as well. Okay, and continuous practice under guidance is very important. You should have an guidance from an expert so that you do not face any problem while going through the questions and the concepts. I hope you are quite clear with this part, that why should you take OCPJP as well as how to prepare for OCPJP. Moving on, we come to do you know. Guys, all of you go through these questions right here and just let me know, do you know all these things that are written over here? Do you find them easy or hard? Amol says, Mahesh says easy. Okay, now since these are the basics Java parts, I hope everyone should find it easy. But this course comprises of many core concepts that are present in Java, as well as there are advanced concepts that will be covered in this very course, because we do not only prepare you for OCPJP, but we will also be preparing you for your future, so that you do not face any problem in a company. Ahmed says, why Java is called Java? Okay, Java is actually named after an island. Ahmed, does that answer your query, Ahmed? Please write down on the chat window. Okay, Ahmed says thanks. Mahesh says just another vague acronym. That is not so, Mahesh. It is actually named after an island, Java. While Java was being developed, those people were actually consuming a lot of coffee. That coffee was imported from Java Island. That is why. Mahesh says best coffee. That's good. Kunal says, I'm Kunal. Can you hear me? No, Kunal. All of you are actually on mute right now. Let's move on. We first of all see what is the history of Java. Java was developed by Mr. James Gosling along with these many people, that is Ed Frank, Chris Rath, Mike, Patrick. So these all people actually developed Java. They got a Amol says, I've already opted for Java course from Edureka, then why do I need to go for certification? Now that is the point. Amol, I said in the starting, why should you go for certification? Because in this course you'll be getting a lot more than the core Java part, as well as certification is quite important. It will help you in your future. If you are a working professional, it will help you in while switching jobs, as well as if you are a fresher, it will help you to get a new job. Okay, you'll be preferred over others. Is that clear, Amol? Okay. Moving on, I come to facts about Java. Symbol of Java. Have you ever thought why the symbol of Java is like a coffee cup? It is because, as I told you, while developing Java, these people were actually consuming a lot of coffee, so they thought that why not put the symbol as the coffee cup. Okay. Second is how Java was invented in 1995. James Gosling and his team developed a language that is OAK. OAK is the previous name of Java, then it was later renamed to Java in the same year. They actually received a project in which they have to develop a remote control. Now, for that, they were trying to use C and C++, but since they were system languages, so they wanted another language, and hence they came up with a new language that is OAK. Moving on, I come to object-oriented programming without wasting any time now. Mahesh says which issues made them to rename. No, there was no such issues. They wanted to rename it to Java, hence they did it. Okay. Now we come to what is object-oriented programming. Now can any one of you tell me what is object-oriented programming? Please write down on the chat window. Any one of you? Do you have any idea what is object-oriented programming? Vijayalakshmi says no. What about the rest of you? Kunal says which include encapsulations. Exactly, it is one of the feature of object-oriented programming. Kunal says hierarchy. Okay, then I'll tell you. Chetan says classes. Mahesh says abstraction. First of all, object-oriented OOPS is programming methodology to design computer programs using class and objects. Okay, in this everything revolves around classes and objects. In a language in which you actually deal with objects only, whenever you have to perform a particular task or operation, you'll have to create object of a class, and then only you'll be able to execute your operation. Okay, so that language would be termed as object-oriented language. Now, why Java is called object-oriented programming? Because Java supports all the OOPS concepts, therefore it is called object-oriented programming language. Okay. Mahesh says objects have state and behavior. Exactly, they do. Now we come on to object-oriented programming features. Now this is the important part right here, that is the features of object-oriented programming that are incorporated in languages like Java. First of all, languages like Java has got classes and objects. It has got a property that is inheritance. Encapsulation is followed in Java. Abstraction and polymorphism. So these are the 5 features that are present in every object-oriented programming language. Okay. So I hope all of you are clear till here. Please write down on the chat window. Then I'll move on to the next slide. Mahesh says, yeah, clear. What about the rest of you? Okay, that's good. Before moving on, yes, Ahmed, I'll be explaining abstraction. We'll be dealing with each and every feature one by one. Chetan says, what is the difference between abstraction and encapsulation? We'll be dealing with that, Chetan. Just give in a while. But before moving forward, I have a question I would like to ask, that is, what is a class? What do you think a class is? And after that, I'll explain it to you. Is a class a section of the hard disk reserved for object? A class is a collection of objects with similar parameter, or a class is a section of computer memory containing object? You just have to click on one of the radio buttons and cast your answer. Mahesh says class is a template. Everyone give your answers. Only 59% of the people have given their answers right now. 71. What about the rest of you? 76, 82, 94. I guess someone is left. Okay, we have the 100% results. 88% of the people says that the second option is correct, and 12% says that the third option is correct. And the correct answer is 88%. 88% of the people are actually correct. The second point is the correct answer. A class is a collection of objects with similar parameters. Okay. Now let's move on and we'll discuss each and every feature one by one. The very first feature is classes and objects. A class is a collection of objects which have the same parameter as their class. Okay, so you declare a class, you declare your variables in it, you declare methods within that, and using that class you can create as many objects as you want. As Mahesh says, you can consider it as a template. Using that template you can create many copies of it, right? So all the properties that are present in that particular class will be present in each and every object that would be created by using the class. Now an object is everything that really exists in the world. You can consider we human beings, each and every one of you, me, everyone will actually be an object in this particular world, right? So human beings, you can consider it a class, and all the objects are the people that are present around us. Okay. Let's see how to declare a class in Eclipse. Now this Eclipse is actually the IDE, that is integrated development environment using to develop your Java application. Now before telling you classes and objects, I'd like to show how you can install this IDE. So for that you need to go to edureka.in. Okay, go to edureka.in. I'll just show you in a while. Go to sign in. I'll log in with my account. Once you take up the course, okay, then you'll have a login. Now after logging in, you can see an option that is my courses. You have to go to your course. Right now this is the different course. So there is a guide available. This guide is also available on the Facebook account group that we have. This is a Edureka Java community. You can send a request here. Here you have your Java installation guide. Okay, using this guide you can install your IDE, that is Eclipse, very easily, right? So you can download it from here. Let's get back to the before presentation we come to Eclipse. Now I'll tell you how to use a class and objects. So I'll just open a project. Now while you define a class, you actually write class keyword, that is class A, or you can name it anything like first class. Okay, so this is the name of your class, that is first class. I'll just make the updations. So using the class keyword, this is important. Whenever you are defining class, you have to use this class keyword, and after that you name the class. Within that you can define your variables, you can define your methods. Okay, we will be dealing with methods in the later part of the class. Now when I run this code, I'll receive the result on the console window. You'll understand how this method is working, but before that you should understand what is actually an object, how to create an object of the class. So whenever you are creating an object of a particular class, you write the name of the class first, that is first class, then you write the name of the object. The name of the object could be anything. You can write obj or you can write ob, anything, equals to new. New is an operator, new is a keyword using which you can allocate memory for this object. After that, you again write the name of the class, that is first class, you open the parenthesis, you close the parenthesis, and finally you place the semicolon in the end. So this is the syntax that is being followed for creating an object of the class, that is first class. So all of you, are you clear with the class and the object? Please write down on the chat window. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, Vijay Lakshmi says little bit. So Mahesh is asking a question, so I'll just implement it. So Mahesh, is your question answered? Please write down on the chat window if it is if it is clear to you. This is also one way by using which you can use the function that was defined in first class, but you don't have to go through it right now because you are actually dealing with the basic parts of Java, so understand it. Anshika says, please explain public static void main. Okay, main is a method. Okay, consider the main method as the starting point of your application. So whenever your application run, this actually calls the main method, and whatever thing that is present in the main method will get executed. Now void means it is not returning anything. Now these are all the parts of a method. So void means it is not, this method is not returning anything. Public means it could be used by anywhere throughout the application. It could be called by any other application as well. Okay, so we'll be dealing with method in the later part. Coming back, we come to inheritance. That is the second topic. Now inheritance is a mechanism wherein a new class is derived from an existing class. Like you have a class that is animal and you have got 3 other classes. Now this animal is actually an existing class. You want to inherit that class because all these 3 things, that is reptiles, amphibian and mammal, actually these 3 things are actually animals, right? But they have got their distinctive features. As it is written in Java, classes may inherit or acquire the properties and methods of other classes because these 3 things are actually using the properties of animal, but they have got their own distinctive features as well. For example, like here, you have a class animal, you declared few variables. One is type, that is not human, lives on land and gives birth, right? Similarly, you have a class that is aquatic. Okay, I have a question by Abhyam, that is, what is the meaning of static? Static means constant, okay? When you define something as static, then there is only one copy of that particular thing, whether it is a method, whether it is a variable, okay? So it will only have one copy. You can use that copy throughout the application. Is that clear, Abhyam? Chetan says, what is the access specifier used in that program? That was the public access specifier. Okay, we'll be dealing with access specifier as well in this class. Now, so I hope this example is quite clear to you. In aquatic, what was the difference? You will be using this not human by inheriting this class. Whenever you inherit a class, you'll be using this extends keyword. So you write class aquatic extends animal. Okay, you inherit this class. By using that, you can use this variable that is type. You are changing this lives in water. Okay, you are changing from on land to in water because it is the distinctive feature of this aquatic class. Okay, let's see the example of inheritance in Eclipse. So I'll just close this. I come to inheritance. I have 3 classes. The same example, that is, one is animal class, second is aquatic class, and third is the main class. I'll just comment these functions. When we'll study them, then we'll be dealing with them. So in animal class, what we have a variable that is type, and we have set it to non-human. Okay, that is not human. It is a string variable. Now variables are used to declare to store values. Like this variable is storing a string that is not human. You come to aquatic class. In this aquatic class, you are extending this class that is animal. So you write extends keyword and then you write the animal class. Now string lives in water. In this class, what I did, I created another string variable that is in water. Finally, in the main method, in the main class, I have my main method. As I told you that this is the starting point of your application. In this, I created an object of this aquatic class. So I wrote aquatic OB equals to new aquatic parenthesis and then semicolon. After that, using this object, I'm using the type variable which was defined in this animal class, and I'm using the lives variable which was defined in aquatic itself. Okay, so when I run this code, I receive the result as not human and in water, because the value of this type variable was not human and the value of lives variable was in water. Hence, we receive the output like this. So all of you, are you clear with inheritance? Please write down on the chart window, each and every one of you. Mahesh says, what is package com.edureka.animal? Now package name is actually the path in which your class is stored. Okay, Mahesh says, is it library? Right here. Mahesh, you can see com.edureka.animal. It is the folder in which your class has been stored. Abhyam says, please explain it once again. Absolutely, I'll do that. Now Abhyam, what I did, I created a class that is animal. In that, I created a variable that is public string type, not human. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I have this type. Okay, it will be common to this aquatic as well, because there will be a type, because this aquatic animal is also not human. So instead of writing that code again in this, what I did, I inherited the class that animal, using which I can use this variable. I can use this property. Okay, so this is the benefit that I told you. Using inheritance, I can use the things that are present in this class because they were common to aquatic class as well. Now there were some distinctive properties of this aquatic class as well, that is, these kind of animals lives in water, so I defined another variable in it, that is string lives equals to in water. Finally, I made another class that is main. In this main class, I have my main method. Main method is the starting point of your application. So whatever things that will be present in it will be executed. So I created an object of this aquatic class by using this syntax: class name, name of the object, new operator, and then again the class name. Finally, I'm printing this, that is ob.type. System.out.println is the output command using which I'm printing ob.type, that is the value that is present in this type variable. Similarly, I'm printing the value that is present in lives variable. I run this code, I receive the result, that is type equal to not human and lives equal to in water. Now, are you clear with it? Mahesh says, you mean to say aquatic has got two variables? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that aquatic animals have got two properties. One property is that it is not human, and the second property is it lives in water. Now, since the animal class itself has got one property, that is not human, so I inherited that class so that I can use it without writing a code. Okay, so I'm saving one line of code. So this was a very small example, but in further projects, bigger projects, inheritance come handy. Mahesh says, okay, that's good. Abhyam says, yes, clear. Vijay Lakshmi says, yes, clear, that's good. Getting back to the presentation, I come to the third feature, that is encapsulation. Encapsulation can be described as a protective barrier that prevents the code and data being randomly accessed by other code defined outside the class. Mahesh says wrapping of classes and objects. Exactly. Okay, so by the help of this feature is actually saving your code. Let's understand with this diagram, that is, you create a class in Java. Encapsulation is actually implemented using the class. Okay, you create a class, everything, every code that you write is actually present within the class, right? So in this class, what I did, I have variables, I have methods. Now these variables and methods can only be accessed by those things that actually are related with the class A. Either it could be used by subclass of A, that is, this class is inheriting this class, so this will be the subclass of A. So these methods and variables can be used by the subclass of A or by the object of class A. So what we are doing, we are actually providing protection to this variable and method using the class. Abhim says which memory after animal or aquatic. Okay, Abhim is saying which class will be executed first in memory after compilation, animal or aquatic. Now after compilation, when you run the code, it comes to the main method directly and it will execute this line first, then this line and this line. Okay, so are you clear with that? Abhim says okay. Now let me know, are you clear with this diagram right here? How does this class actually provide protection to the variables and methods that are present within it? Mohsin says encapsulation is both data bundling and data hiding. Exactly correct, Mohsin. Mohsin says yes, clear. What about the rest of you? Please write down on the chat window. Ahmed says clear. Anshika says no, it's not clear. Okay, I'll explain it once again, Anshika. I was saying that everything that is present in Java is present within a class. First of all, encapsulation is implemented in Java using the feature that is class. Okay, whatever you write will be present within the class. So the class acts as a capsule for these values and methods. Okay, so whenever you have to access these variables and methods, you'll have to use the class itself. So how can you do that? First thing is you can create the object of the class A, then only you can use these methods and variables, or you can extend this class A, that is, using the subclass of A, you can use these variables and methods. Chetan says, can you give an example? Absolutely, I'll go to Eclipse. So this is the class A. First of all, in class A, I have got a variable that is 10. Okay, variable x which is equals to 10. I have got a method. Now this method is printing a string that is in class A. The value of x is this. Okay, so it will print the value of x. I have a subclass. Subclass extends class A. Okay, I have another method that is void show. In this, it will print a string that is, this is show class. It will call the method that is display. Now what is that right here? Display method was defined in that is A class, and we are using this display method in subclass A. So by extending the class A, we can use the methods that is present in A. If I remove this extends A, okay, right here, so I receive an error because if I am not using the class, I cannot use the variable or the method that is present in that class. Even I receive an error right here. Okay, so I hope you are clear with it. So we are clear that if you have a subclass of a class, then only you can use the variables and methods that are defined within that particular class. Anshika says why it is mandatory to declare a package in Eclipse to write programs, so that you can categorize your classes, right? That is why it is mandatory. It has been designed like that, so you can categorize your classes. All the similar type of classes will be present in one folder, that is one package, and other classes can be present in another folder. Anshika says, by subclass you mean inheritance concept. Exactly. Now this, I'll just Control Z it. This class A is the parent class. This is the subclass of the class A. Okay. Superclass and subclass concept. A is the superclass, this one is the subclass of class A. I hope it is clear now. Is it? Please write down on the chat window. Mahesh says which one is efficient, Eclipse or NetBeans? Eclipse, I guess. Most of the programmers, developers use Eclipse. Chetan and Anshika says yeah, clear. Okay then. So I have told you how to use methods and object using a subclass. If you do not extend it, then you cannot use the object and method. Sorry, the variable and method. Other way was you can have an object. So what I did in here in the main class, I'm creating the object of class A. So A, object A equal to new A, and I'm using the variable that is X that was defined in the class right here, that is X. Okay, and I'm also using the method that is display using the object. If I just remove this object, I'm not creating the object, I won't be able to use it. Neither the display method, neither the variable. So I hope you're clear with this now. So class is actually protecting the code that is present within it. You have to go through the class, then only you can access those particular things that are present within that class. Okay. Moving on. The example, the same I showed you on Eclipse right here. Class A, you have got a method in that is void display. It is printing a string that is in class A. You have got another subclass of A. This class is extending class A, right? And this you are printing, this is show class, and you are calling the method that is display, which was defined in class A. You have an object of class A. Using the object as well, you can use the method right here that is .display. Anshika says, show me sub-a.java once more please. Okay. Right here. So this is the code for sub-a. Okay. Mahesh, I'm not very clear with your question. Please write down on the chat. Rephrase your question and write down on the chat once again. Okay, obja.show. Actually, I'm creating an object of class A, so I'll be using the method that has been defined in class A itself. Mahesh, are you getting my point? This is the superclass. This is not the subclass. Mahesh says, okay, that's good. Moving on, I come to abstraction. What is abstraction? Abstraction means to show only the necessary details to the client of the object, right? That means you only see the overview. You do not know what is present inside that particular thing. That term is called abstraction. Like, for example, do you know the inner details when you start your car and go for a ride? You do not know what are the things that are present in it. You do not know what happens when you move its steering. Okay, so you are unaware of the details that are present within the car, but you just see the overview, the surface of that car, right? So you know the processing, you do not know each and every detail that is present within it. Similarly, abstraction is also implemented in Java. You can have abstract classes in which you can only have the name of the methods, name of the variables, okay? There will be no definition of the method present in the abstract class. So right now you just have to understand the concept. We'll be dealing with the abstract class later. So all of you, are you clear with the abstraction? What does it mean? Exactly, Mahesh. सब छुपा के रखते हैं. Exactly. What is the advantage of it? Chetan says. The advantage is, like, you can define a function, okay? Like move. Okay, there is a function that is move and you haven't given the definition. Now move can be used, move function can be used in several places, several applications, right? In one application you need to move from north to south. So the definition will be from north to south. But in another application you have to move from east to west. So you can change the definition. You have the method. What you can do, you can just implement the abstract class, you can extend the abstract class and use that method and put your own definition within that. Anshika, is that clear to you? And Chetan? Chetan sir says okay, got it. Anshika says yeah, clear. Ahmed, is it clear to you how to relate this with programming? Okay, Vijay Lakshmi says just once again, sir. I was saying there's a method, okay, you define. Ahmed says thanks. There's a method, you defined it within an abstract class. That is also abstract method. That means there's no definition within that. You only give the name, that is move. Now you have got two applications. One application wants that the object should move from north to south. Okay, so what you did, you extended the class, you have your move function, you have the name, you just have to define it. You have to put the definition within that, that is move from north to south. But you have got another application in which the object has to move from east to west. In that case, you can again extend the class, abstract class, and you can use the method that is move. In that, you will be putting the definition that the object has to move from east to west. Okay, is that clear to you, Vijay Lakshmi? Please write down on the chat window. Vijay Lakshmi says okay. Ahmed will be dealing with abstraction in the later part of the class. Not today, but in later classes. Even Mahesh. Anshika, I have given you the significance. That is, you can extend this abstract class. You have the basic structure. You have got the abstract methods within that. So you know what are the methods that has to be used, right? Only you have to give the definition within that. So that is the significance of an abstract class. Yes, Chetan, you are right. Exactly correct. Moving on, I come to the next concept, that is polymorphism. What is polymorphism? It represents the ability to behave in different forms. Let's consider this example right here. You have got a man. That man could be the son of parents. He could be the husband of a wife. He could be the brother of a sister. And he could be the father of a child. So there is a singular man. There is one man. That man has got different roles. So this is called polymorphism. Now you could ask me a question, that is similar question that you asked in the last one. How to implement? Okay, Anshika says nice example. Now, yes, exactly, Chetan. It is overloading. Whenever you want to implement polymorphism in your Java application, you will be using overloading. That is a concept in Java. Let's see how to overload a method. But before that, we should understand what is a method. So what I'll do, I'll show you overloading. Okay. Similar classes, animal, aquatic, and main. In animal, I have a function, okay, that is fun. Not necessarily you have to, I'll just close this aquatic. In this, what I'll do, I'll define this function again. Public void, or this time this will return something, or it will take some parameter. It won't return anything. Function, it will take an integer parameter in x or z. Let's x. Within this, it will print this number, that is, I'll print the output command, the system.out.println. I'll pass the number passed was plus, and I'll write 6. Okay, plus operator is used so that you can print the string as well as the number as well. So instead of 6, I'll mention x. Now I come to the main class. In this, I'll come in this part. Now I'll create an object of animal class. I'll write animal ob equals to new animal. So this is the syntax. I've created an object of animal class. Using this object, I'll call the function. Okay, we have got two functions. One is without parameters. This function is not taking any parameter, and the second function will take one parameter. So fun and in this I'll pass a number that is 6 and semicolon. Mahesh says Anshika might not understand. Is polymorphism can be related to data binding? No, you cannot say like that. Polymorphism is actually implemented like the concept that is method overloading. Method overloading is, do you have the same function name, function and function, right? So this means that you have the two different methods with the same name, that is fun. Are you getting my point? That is, you are overloading the method. You are putting a lot of pressure on the same name. That is, two functionalities on a singular name. Are you getting my point, Anshika? So this is polymorphism. Yes, Mahesh. Please write down on the chat window. Rest of you, are you clear with overloading? When I run this code, first time what it will do, it will call without parameters, that is, it called this function because I used ob.fun and ob.fun6. So first of all it called this function, and in the second time it called this one, that is with the parameter. The number passed was 6. So you actually overloaded a method with two different functionalities, and the name of the method is still the same. Abhim says, okay. So how can you comment a set of lines as you did? You just have to press Ctrl 7. It will comment multiple lines. Okay, Abhyam says, what is runtime polymorphism? It is done during runtime only. When you execute it, that is considered as runtime polymorphism. Okay, because the complete entire code will be executed at runtime itself. Abhyam, is that clear? Chetan says, thank you sir. I guess you're clear with polymorphism and overloading. Moving on, I come to an example, a very interesting example. Each and every one of you, please go through it. Once a man asked a blacksmith and engineer to make a hammer for him. Both said, okay, we'll meet after 1 day. Okay. So first of all, blacksmith's approach, that is, he arranged raw material in 1 hour. He melted it in 2 hours, beating work on it for 4 hours. Okay. So in 7 hours, he was able to make one hammer. This was the result. It took 7 hours to make one hammer. Then we come to engineer's approach, that is a Java programmer's approach, the object-oriented approach. He arranged raw material for 1 hour, he melted it 2 hours, built a die. Now die would be a class, okay, consider die as the class. Build a die diagram on paper, first of all 1 hour, and then build a die for 4 hours. Casted the liquid into die 1 hour, and he took around 9 hours to create one hammer. Okay, so he created a class already. He created a die for the hammer. Next day, what happens? Now the man was very happy, so he asked again both to make 10 hammers for him. Both again said, okay, we'll meet after 2 days. Now again we come to the blacksmith's approach. He arranged the raw material for 1 hour, melted it for 2 hours, beating work for 4 hours per hammer. Okay, so since 7 hours one hammer, therefore for 10 hammers he will take 70 hours. Then we come to engineer's approach. Since he already created a die, that is, he built a die done already and built die diagram done already, right? So he took time for arranging raw material 1 hour, melted it 2 hours, casted the liquid into die 1 hour. Now therefore for 10 hammers he'll take 10 into 1 plus 2 and 1, finally 3 hours, 4 hours, that will be equals to 40 hours. So what is the story? Reusability, Chetan says, exactly. The lesson from this story is that classes are really important. Using classes you can create many objects as you want. So this is the essence of this story. All of you are you clear with this? Please write down on the chat window. Mahesh says a true engineer and a smiley. Mohsin says yes, clear. Abhyam says yes. What about the rest of you? Ahmed says nice story. Vijay Lakshmi says clear. That's good. Now since we have understood why wait, and let's understand what are the data types that are available in Java. Java data types, they are divided into primitive and non-primitive. Primitive data types are those data types that were present with the procedural languages like C language. Now after that, with object-oriented programming languages, non-primitive data types came. In that you'll have to use a new keyword to use those data types. Okay, so these are the data types that are available: byte, int, long, short, float, double. These are all primitive data types. Character, boolean as well, and array, class, and interface. These were the object-oriented data types in which you are creating an object using the new keyword. Okay. Now every data type, every variable takes a particular amount of memory in your RAM. That is, an unsigned character takes 8 bits, character 8 bits. So this is the chart that you have to follow. Integer, unsigned integer will take 32 bit. Integer also takes 32 bit, like this. For enum 16, long 32, float 32, double 64. Long double is 80 bits, and near pointer is 32, far pointer is 32 bits. Moving on, I come to the code structure in Java. How do you actually code? First thing is the source file. You have your source file. Then we come to the class file. Okay. In the class file you have got different methods, method 1, and you can have different methods, that is method 2. So this is actually the structure in Java. You have your source file. Within the source file you have got your different classes. Class file. Within the class file you have got your different methods. I hope you are clear with this part, everyone. Moving on, I come to the first Java program, that is the Hello World. Now we'll just implement this code on Eclipse. It is quite simple to implement. I'll also show you how to create a project in Java using Eclipse. So after installing your IDE, go to File. Yes, Chetan. I go to File, I go to New. I click on Java project. Now we'll give a name, something like Java underscore OCPJP. Okay. I click on next, I click on finish. So we have created a project, that is Java underscore OCPJP. I have my source folder. Within this source folder I'll add a class. I'll right click on the source folder, go to new, I'll go to class. So this is our class. I'll give a name to this class. Write class 1. Public static void main. I'll include the static main method so that it represents that the starting point of the application is right here. In this I'll write my first statement, that is system, that is the output statement, system dot out dot println. Within that I'll print a string, that is hello world, WORLD. I'll save my file. I'll just run my code, right click, run as Java application, and in the console window all of you can see hello world. So I hope you are clear with how to create a project in Eclipse, how to add classes to your project, and finally how to execute a command, that is system.out.println. Chetan says yeah, Vijay Lakshmi says yeah. What about the rest of you? Everyone please write down on the chat window. Mohsin says yes. Mahesh says string array arguments. It is actually an array. Okay. Main methods take a parameter, that is array of strings. Anshika says yeah, clear. So I've created a very first program, that is the Java World program. Now what actually was happening with this program? You wrote a class, then within that you printed hello world. This is the source code. After the source code, when you run the code, first of all it was compiled into a .class file. After compilation, what happens? It gets converted into bytecode, that is hello.class. Okay, that is the bytecode. Finally, your bytecode's executed and you see hello world on the console window. Anshika says out. You can see the details, Anshika. If you want to go through deeper, you just have to come here, you have to click control, you have to press on that, you can open the declaration. And this way you'll come right here. And you get the information regarding that. Now, you would have heard that Java is a compile once and run anywhere language, right? That means Java is a platform independent language. Now, can any one of you tell me how is Java platform independent? Do you have the answer? Any one of you? Chetan says using bytecode. Mahesh says due to bytecode. Exactly correct, due to bytecode as well as due to JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. Let's understand this, how Java works. Okay, first of all, we can divide the entire environment into compile time environment and runtime environment. You have your Java source code, that is the .java file. Chetan says we can run the bytecode on any machine with JVM installed. Exactly correct. Mohsin says can be used in Windows as well as in Mac. Exactly. Mahesh says JIT. Okay. Now how Java works, we have divided the entire environment into two parts. One is the compile time environment, the second is runtime environment. In compile time, you have got your Java source code, that is the .java file. Using the Java compiler, that is Javac, you convert the bytecode into .class. Now this .class file has got the bytecodes in it. You move this bytecode to some other system locally or through network. In that system, that would be the runtime environment where the application has to run. Now there will be a class loader and bytecode verifier. These two things actually uses the class libraries, that is Java class libraries, and using which they verify the code. First of all, they load the class, that is .class file, and then they verify the bytecode. After the verification, that bytecode is sent to JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. In this, there are two components. One is Java interpreter, the other one is just-in-time compiler. Anshika says, if we have a .class file, can we convert it into .java file? Yes, there are decompilers present with Eclipse. There is a plugin available, so you can use that plugin in your Eclipse and you can do that. Mahesh says, how can we use libraries? Now, in order to use Java libraries, you can simply import them using the import keyword. Okay, Anshika, you'll have to search them on net. You have to search for decompilers. Okay, there's a plugin available with Eclipse. Now, Java interpreter, what it did, as soon as the bytecode reached the JVM, this Java interpreter will read the bytecode one after the other, line by line. Interpreter means it will read the first line, then it will convert it into instructions, that is machine code, and then it will read the second line, it will do the same thing with that, and third line. This way it will go on. But just-in-time compiler, what it does, it executes. Since it is a compiler, it will execute the entire code, it will read the entire bytecode, and then it will convert it into instructions. Now with the help of JIT compiler, we actually reduce the processing time and your execution becomes faster. The execution of the application gets faster. Okay. Finally, when the entire bytecode has been converted into instructions, it is sent to the operating system and your Java application runs. It does not depend on the operating system because operating system finally receives a language which could be understood by that operating system. Like if you have a Mac operating system, there will be a JVM present that will understand the bytecode and it will convert it into a language that could be understood by the Mac operating system itself. Anshika says we can use either interpreter or compiler at once, but here we are using both simultaneously. How? We are not using both simultaneously. What is happening? As soon as the bytecode reaches, this interpreter will read the bytecode one after the other. But at times, when the system feels that the code is getting reused again. If the code could be reused again, so what this just-in-time compiler does, it converts that code into bytecode and it saves it into the, it converts the bytecode into machine instructions and it saves it into the cache memory. It is a temporary memory. Now whenever that Java interpreter will again encounter that particular code, what it will do, it will fetch that code from the cache memory and it will use that. Okay, this way the processing increases. Anshika, is that clear to you? Ahmed says, do these JVMs come pre-installed with every operating system? Yes, with almost every operating system you'll find this JVM already installed. Anshika says, yeah, clear. Yes, Chetan, okay, you cannot directly see the bytecode file like this. There is a command prompt, there's a command line using which, using the command prompt, you can see the bytecode. Ahmed says, then why do we install JDK? JDK does not bring your JVM within that. Okay, JDK is for developing a Java application. Are you getting my point, Ahmed? Ahmed says, thanks. I hope you are clear with the diagram right here. That is the Java environment, how Java works. Now we come to methods. Methods have got 5 components, namely modifiers, that is the access specifiers, the return type, the method name, the parameter list, and the method body. You can see right here, this is the method with a return type, method name, and arguments, that is parameters, and you have your opening curly braces and closing one. Within that you have got the body of the method. So return type is a value that would be returned by this particular method. It could be an integer, it could be a character, or anything. If this method is not returning anything, in that case you'll be mentioning it as void. Okay, the return type will be void, that means empty. Nothing will be returned by this method. Method name is the identifier of the method. Okay, that means you can identify the method, you can call the method using the name of this method. Finally, you can pass parameters into this method. Now these parameters could be 2, 3, any number of parameters. Like, let's say there is a function for multiplication. In that function you need 2 numbers to be multiplied. So you can pass 2 integer values, that is integer x comma integer y. Those values will be used in this body. Okay, in the body of the method you provide the functionality of this method, that is what operation this method will operate or execute. Okay, so these are the parts of a method that are present. No, Mahesh, you cannot do that. So all of you, are you clear with the parts of a method, the components that are present within a method? Please write down on the chat window, everyone. Chetan says yes sir. What about the rest? Mohsin says yes. Abhyam says, what is a static method? Static method is the one which has only one copy. Okay. When you put the static keyword before a method or a variable, you cannot define it once again using that. You cannot overload that method or a variable. Mahesh and Abhyam, are you clear with it? Anshika says modifiers are necessary to use. Okay, I'll give you an answer in the very next slide. Mahesh says yeah, clear. Let's understand what is modifiers and then I'll come to your question, Anshika. Okay. So modifiers, public, there are 3 kinds of modifiers, namely one is public, second is protected, and the third is private. In public, any method in a class can access the field. Okay, if you are mentioning a particular element like a variable or a method, even a class, okay, if you are mentioning it as public, then that means that that particular thing could be used by any other class throughout the application. It will be a public thing. Then we come to the second one, that is protected. In protected, any method in the same package or any derived class can access the field. What is derived class? The subclass of a particular class. Let's say there is a parent class, there is a child class. That child class will be termed as derived class. So if you are mentioning a element in your application as protected, then that particular element can be used by the classes that are present in the same package, or it could be used by a derived class. Okay, then we come to the private one. Only methods within the same class, okay, can use the particular field or variable. A thing that is mentioned as private, that particular thing can only be used by that particular class itself. It cannot be used by any other class once you mention it as private. So is that private, protected? Is it a... No, either it could be private or it could be protected, Mahesh. No, Abhyam, it cannot. Okay. Mahesh says okay. Now, if you do not mention, now I'll come to your point, that Anshika, that is, you were saying that if I do not mention the access modifiers, in that case it will take the default one. The default one is that only methods in the same package can access the field. That means all the classes that are present in the same package can only access that particular element in which you haven't defined the access modifier. So is the question answered, Anshika? Please write down on the chat window. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see the example, the implementation of access modifiers. So I open this. Okay, what I'll do, I'll add another class. I'll show you all the access modifiers. So specifiers. Instead of here, I'll just remove it. And I'll use it in another class. So I have defined 4 methods in a class, that is private int x equals to 0, public int y equals 20, protected, and int k. I'll come in these lines first of all. Okay, so I have one class that is specifiers.java. Ahmed says, can we say that they define the permissions for a class variable? Exactly, you can say that. Okay, Abhyam, we'll just try, okay? Let me just complete the access modifiers and then we'll come to that part. Now, one variable that is x, let's mention it underscore private. Okay, second variable is y, I'll mention it as underscore public. Third method is protected, so I'll mention it as underscore protected. And final method is the default one, that is I'm not using any modifiers, I'll write underscore default. First of all, we'll understand public, so I'll just copy this, I'll be using it. I come to the main method. First thing, since I want to use the variables, I'll create an object of the specifier class. So I write specifiers object equals to new specifiers. In this, I'll be using the object, so I'll just print the object system.out.println. In this, I'll write the obj, that is object name dot underscore public. So I'm using the public variable. So I can easily use that public variable right here. I'll make one more package to show you that I can use it from other package as well. So I'll write second, and I click on finish. In the second package, I'll add one more class, new class test, and finish. In the test class, I'll just copy the entire statement, this one. I come to test, here I'll paste it. Okay, now when you have a class like this, you'll have to declare a method. Within the method you can define it. So write void xyz. I open the parenthesis and I close the parenthesis. Okay, So what I did, I can use the public thing throughout the application. A variable which is defined as public can be used throughout the application. Right, restriction on method overloading or not. Okay, let me just complete Mahesh, Abhyam, everyone, and then I'll come to queries, okay? Let me just complete, let me show the demonstration. So we are quite clear with public. Now I come to the second one, that is the private one. Okay, I'll use a or protected. Let's come to protected first. So I come to main Java in the same package. Here I'll create system dot out dot println. This time I'll be using the obj object dot to use the protected variable. So I can use the second protected also, that is underscore protected, and I save the file. So that means I can easily use a protected one in this. I come to the second test file which is present in another package. I'll use the same thing. I'll just copy the statement system.out.println, copy. I come to the test class and I'll paste it. Now since this protected method, that was a protected variable, you cannot use that protected variable with a class that is present in another package. Just go through the definition. Any method in the same package or any derived class can access the field. So since this class is not derived till now, okay, now what I'll do, I'll extend this class, extends specifiers. Okay, after that I'll create the object of this class, that is test, which is inheriting it. Test equals test ob equals to new test. Now using this object I'll be able to use, since this is the subclass of that class, what will happen, I'll be able to use the protected one. So I'll write ob dot underscore protected equals to, I can assign any value or I can print the value. So you can see that since it was protected, a subclass which is present in any package, that does not matter, can use the variable or the classes that are present in the same package. So are you clear with the protected one? Then I'll come to the third and fourth one. Please write down on the chat window, everyone. Abhyam says yes, clear. What about the rest of you? Java is really a magical language, Mahesh says. Vijay Lakshmi and Mohsin says yes, that's good. I come to main. Now I'll be showing you the default, the private one. Now specifiers, the private one is this underscore private 10. Since it is a private variable, I cannot use this private variable in any of these classes, okay? It could only be used in this class itself. So whether I come to the main class which is present in the same package and I try to write system.out.println, here I mention obj dot, you won't find the option. I'll just write it private, this is the variable. So it gives me an error because I cannot use it. If you go there, it will give you an option, change visibility of private to default. Okay, so you cannot use a private variable in any other class. It could only be used in the class in which it is defined. Finally, I come to the default one. I have a variable that is underscore default, which does not have a specifier, so it is the default one. I come to the main class first of all. I'll use the statement system.out.println, and then I write obj dot, I can use underscore default. That means classes that are present in the same package can use the object. Now I come to the test class, this extends specifiers. I'll try to use the default one, so I'll write ob dot, I don't receive an option. So this is the difference between the protected access modifier and the default one. In protected, that variable can be used by the subclass, but in default it cannot happen. In default, only the classes that are present in the same package can use the variable. Are you clear with that? Mahesh says, can we say default access specifiers as the package scope? Not necessarily the package scope, because okay, for the default one, yes, you can say that. Just for the default access modifier, you can say that it could be a package scope. Okay, that means that particular thing can be used within the package itself. Okay, then I hope all of you are clear with the access modifiers. Everyone, please write down on the chat window. Then I'll move on to the next one. Abhim says yes, Mahesh sends me a smiley. What about the rest of you? Anshika says yeah, clear. Deepak, Ahmed. Okay then. Now, I guess you all have got the answers to each and every questions right here. That is JVM, OOPS, Java, methods, simple Java program, the dot class file, and the bytecodes. Is that so? Please write down on the chat window. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, this was the final slide, but before that I'd like to show you certain details regarding the course. So, just come to the Edureka page, the home page, log in with your Facebook account. Once you're logged in, go to SCJP or OCPJP 6.0 certification, click on that. Now, this is the course page. Here you'll find these details, as well as here you'll find the course curriculum that will be taught in this particular course. This course includes all the topics that comes into OCPJP certification, the core Java part, but as well as it will also cover advanced topics like Swing, JSP and servlets, RMI, database will be covered. So we not only prepare you for the certification, but we will also be preparing you for the future. Okay, that is when you go to a company, if you are OCPJP certified, then the expectation would be high, but if you only have the knowledge of core Java, it won't help you. Okay, so you should have the knowledge of advanced part as well, hence we provide you other topics in this course. Now, in order to enroll yourself, the cost of the course is 8,999. I'll click on buy now. You come here. Now, all of you are quite lucky today. Each and every one of you are receiving a 20% discount on the entire course fee. Okay, so the course fee is 8,999, including the tax. You'll have to pay 6,112 rupees, but you have a discount code. So click on have discount coupon and enter in your discount code, that is OCPJP _ 20, and click on redeem. As soon as you click on redeem, you'll receive a discount of 2,023 rupees, and you just have to pay 8,089 rupees, including the tax. Okay. So I'll just send the discount code on your chat windows. I come to chat, and this is your discount code, this discount. Okay, Mahesh says, what about exam? Now for OCPJP exams, these kind of exams are, you have to take it on your own. These are chargeable exams, that is the fees is around $300. Okay. Now we actually prepare you for the exam, as well as we provide you advanced topics in Java, Mahesh. Okay. So you, before taking up the exam, it is important that you actually prepare yourself for that particular exam, and then only you'll be able to clear it. And on the top of it, we'll provide you so many simulation tests, that is, we'll guarantee that if you're getting 90% in your simulation test taken by Edureka, then we'll guarantee that you'll get more than that in your real exam. Till the time, we'll tell you that now you are prepared to take the exam, and then you can take it. Okay. Mahesh says, can you suggest how can we register for exam? Absolutely, you can go to Oracle website. You can register from there itself, or what you can do, there will be certain centers that are certified by Oracle. Okay, you can find those centers in your city, and you can go there and register yourself for the exam. Does that answer your query, Mahesh? Certification will be provided by you only, Anshika says. Now since this is OCPJP course, for that you'll have to take the exam from Edureka itself. Okay. Vijay Lakshmi says, but you told it's free. Now, you would have received the call for that. This class, this particular class is actually free. The complete entire course is not free. I've already told you the cost, and this is the discount coupon that all of you have received. Just note it down, that is present on your chat windows. After you enter your discount code, click on pay now, and you'll be redirected to this page, and you can enter all your details. After that, you can do the payment by using the debit card, credit card, or net banking. Okay. Mahesh says, can we register immediately, give the exam on that day? No, that is not the case. You cannot do like that, Mahesh. Okay, Anshika says, you'll not provide us by Edureka certificate or any other by your side. Exactly, we'll be doing that also. We'll be providing you the certificate from our side as well. Anshika. Vijay Lakshmi says, so it is necessary to register for today. It is advised that you should register yourself as soon as possible. Okay, you have already one batch which is already filled up. So your next batch is actually starting from 23rd of March. That is Saturday, this Saturday. So if you want to enroll yourself as soon as possible using the discount code. Okay, Vijay Lakshmi, is that clear to you? Please write down on the chat window. Okay. Vijay Lakshmi says thanks, that's good. So all of you will be receiving the recording of this class on your email IDs, registered email IDs, as well as all those classes that will be held during the course. You'll receive the recording of each and every class. The details are right present on the website itself. I'll just show you edureka.in. You go to OCPJP, live online classes will be held for you, 24/7 online expert help. That means during the weekdays what you can do, you can come online on Skype, you will have a dedicated expert and he will be helping you at each and every step. Okay, you can ask as many questions from him or her. You can schedule your own time for the session, you can schedule the own day, okay, according to your comfort. You'll have exam simulation with 10 full length mock exams that will prepare you for the final OCPJP exam, recorded sessions and notes to refer back, and you'll be Oracle certified Java programmer at the end of the day. Okay. Anshika will be providing you the concepts, the simulation test for that, for preparing yourself for the course. Now for in exam, actually what happens, first of all we'll provide the concepts in the classes as well as the Skype sessions that will be held in the weekdays, and then we'll be giving you simulation test. Okay, these will be the mock test that will actually prepare you, because unless you practice the questions, the exam in that limited time, you won't be able to crack that paper. Okay, so that is why it is important to prepare yourself first, then only attend the exam. Am I clear to you, Anshika? Please write down on chat window. Mahesh says, what about Hadoop? Is there any free webinar for it from Edureka? Hopefully we'll have one in the later days. Okay, in a few days we'll have it also. But if you want to register, Mahesh, you can click on the web page and register yourself there itself. Okay. Mahesh says, I'm interested. That's good. That's good. Anshika says, any free course available? I'm sorry to say no, not right now. Okay, we'll have to give some money to get a good thing. Our Java exam online, Mohsin says. Yes, it is conducted online. But if you go to center, there they'll be providing you systems, and then you can give your paper online. Okay. Okay then, for now I'll take a leave. Let's get back to the presentation. Thank you all for being here today. Bye bye all, and hope to see each and every one of you in the next class. Okay, enroll yourself in the course as soon as possible using the discount code right here. Bye bye, take care, and don't forget to fill in the survey. Right after this class you'll receive a survey to fill in. give your comments, give your suggestion, so that we can improve ourselves and provide you a better class in the future. Okay? Bye bye, take care, thank you all.